Okay, folks, it's time to put yourself first, right? There's a special event happening tomorrow in Strongsville, and here with the details is the CEO of Reset Medical and Wellness Center, Kelly Price, along with Dustin Bazar. Nice to see you both.
Thank you.
So I'm really interested about this. So whenever I hear something that's an alphabet thing, I need it explained to me a little bit. So where are we starting with this?
So neurosympathetic reset is a treatment that helps with PTSD, anxiety, long COVID, menopause, hyperactivity, lots of different things. So we're having an event tomorrow night to help inform people a little bit about it. It's a free informational session that Dr. Lowers, our doctor, will explain everything that is with the treatment. It's very simple, it's easy, it's very effective. About 80% of our patients find dramatic relief related to like the PTSD, anxiety, and depression.
Mm-hmm. So you learned the good way, what all this means and how it can help people.
Yes. So I am a full-time firefighter paramedic for the city of Strongsville. I'm also a founder for Reset Medical and also a part-time paramedic there. But what I wanted to share was my experience with the NSR treatment and the life-changing effect that it had on me before and after. So before getting the treatment, I struggled with a lot of those like flashback reels as a first responder, kind of getting those random reminders, and you relive those traumatic calls that you've been on. And since that treatment, I'm able to, you still kind of remember those experiences, but it doesn't activate that fight or flight reflex on you, and you're able to kind of go throughout your day and let it, instead of holding on to that.
What are the symptoms of experiencing this before you got help?
So
nervousness, you know, like
yeah, it's kind of like the hypervigilant, nervousness, anxiety, a little bit of depression built up with that. It's kind of not sleeping well.
Well, there's a big one right there, right?
That's been one of like the biggest changes for myself has been that sleep. Since getting the NSR treatment, I'm able to, especially at the fire department, go to bed and fall asleep and get a restful night's sleep, except for going on calls, of course. But before, you would try to go to sleep, you're kind of reliving those calls that you just went on that day, being critical about yourself. You're wondering, when is that next time that those tones are going to go off? Is it in 3 seconds, 3 minutes, 3 hours? But now you're able to kind of go and lay down and actually fall asleep.
So that's one thing, one symptom. So I think what's great about this event you're having is people maybe have no idea why they're in this situation of like I don't know what's next kind of thing maybe, and they can discover how they can be helped.
Right. Well, whether you're a first responder or just everyday stress.
How about a mom?
A mom.
How about a dad, right?
COVID put a lot of us into really this fight or flight or freeze. And so what NSR, the neurosympathetic reset, does is reset your sympathetic nervous system and allows you to come out of that fight, flight, or freeze. So we have that nervous system for a reason. If we're being chased by a bear, we need to run. But we don't want to sit at that stance all the time. So this allows us to reset it, just like if your computer wasn't working right, we'd reset the computer and restart it. And that's what we're doing with the sympathetic nervous system.
Okay, so people are starting to get a grab on this thing right now. So and say, oh, maybe this is for me. What are some of the items that you say like, oh, that's me? What are some of the, like, we're not thinking of right now?
Yeah, so anxiety, depression, PTSD, hypervigilance, ADHD.
It's a big list.
Insomnia, menopause was huge. I did it for menopause. I was having like 35, 40 hot flashes a day. Don't have any now. I can sleep without night sweats. In long COVID. Long COVID has been usually as soon as somebody leaves the next day, they're telling us they can smell and they can taste again.
What's the treatment like?
The treatment is a 20-minute outpatient procedure. We do the stellate ganglion block on one side the first day and on the other the second day. It takes about, you're in our facility for about an hour and a half to 2 hours each day. And then really, generally, you don't have to come back or unless you experience another trauma in the future that reignites your sympathetic nervous system again.
How soon did you start feeling positive results from this?
So mine was immediately, especially after I got the second side done.
That is a relief, I bet.
It was. It was the first time. I didn't realize how like sad and depressed I was beforehand until after, and being able to truly feel happy. It was like this overwhelming warmth of happiness that came over me as soon as I got the second side done.
Yeah. So obviously you're happy it works and you're taking part in this.
Yes.
When people, what's the actual experience like when people go?
Yeah, so you go in, you get checked in, and you kind of go through and just get an IV put in. Very shortly, you have the treatment on the left side, and then right afterward,
The IV calms you?
yeah, the IV is just in case of emergency if we need to give you anything, but we've never really had to use
Right.
it for that. It's just kind of precautionary. And then after the treatment, you really just feel very relaxed. You will have a couple of symptoms that we're looking for, such as a Horner syndrome, a drooping of the eye, very briefly. And then after that, you can really just start to feel like the calmness in your mind.
Does insurance
and the
help with this at all?
relaxation. Unfortunately, insurance doesn't cover it, but we have HSA, FSA is we can take that. We also have 15 months same as cash, take credit cards. So
Yeah, so this way, if you have a mysterious problem you can't figure out, but you know you have a problem. I mean, I think, I get the vibe that that's what we're talking about here. And there's some information on the screen, and proof is in the pudding right here that
It is.
Something you were pretty wound up.
Yeah, it's been life-changing for me, and so that's why me and my family started Reset to be able to help bring that hope and healing to others.
Yeah, and if you haven't got enough information here, just go to the website on the screen there, get some more information. The event is when?
tomorrow night at 5 o'clock and 6:30, about 30-minute sessions.
And that's in Strongsville.
Yep.
Okay, so make sure you check that out, and good luck.